that feels good. Certainly had more fancy kitchens or kitchenettes. Certainly more specialized coffee. But I don't know. I think when you're out of the pampered life that is society for long enough, you really appreciate the little things. And maybe that's what this is all about. Maybe that's what this is all about. Me appreciating the little things. Me learning the value of the joy of making my own coffee. Or, hi Mary. Shopping at a Target or going to a Starbucks or seeing normal people. Not that the people at national parks aren't normal. What is normal? But they're all very similar. They're all tourists. They're all there to see Old Faithful. They're all there to see wildlife. They're all there I don't know, almost dressed in camping gear. And yeah. And it felt good, or it feels good to be out in society today, coming at you from Bozeman, Montana, and not at the national park. But we'll get to that in a minute. Good morning, good morning, good morning to you. My name is Ken Tracy, and this is Coffee with Ken. It is Sunday morning. I think it's July 7th. It might be July 8th. Don't ever mark your calendar by me updating the date, because I'm not totally sure what day of the month it is, but I believe it's Sunday. And I think it's July 7th or 8th. And I know it's 6:48 a.m. Happy Sunday. This is a little show, Good Morning Chip, that I've been doing for quite some time. It's a show about me talking. It's a show about me sharing some feelings. It's a show I've been doing for 5 years. Thank you, Maverick. Yeah, it's kind of just a show about me sharing some experiences and sharing a little bit about life from one man's perspective. And again, I've been doing it 5 years. I started when I was living in a dark apartment a little over 5 years ago. I realized talking about stuff made me feel better. And for some reason, I started talking about my stuff live on Facebook. And people started watching, connecting, and enjoying. And I don't think it was just voyeurism. I think it was connection. And I think it was me talking about my stuff in such an open and honest way. When I say my stuff, I mean, I don't know, my feelings. I'm a sensitive guy. I'm 55 years old. I cry every day. I laugh a lot. I think I have fun. I think I'm enjoying life. But they'd connect because I would talk about my stuff in an honest way. And, you know, although I smile a lot, it was a real smile, and it was a smile created from a joyous soul, but a joyous soul that also feels hurt and loneliness and sadness. And I think that's what maybe makes my smile so, I don't know. People connect with it. People say I have a nice smile. I'm not being vain. They say it all the time. I think it's genuine as heck, because I also talk about the struggles and the loneliness and the hurt and the sadness and what have you. Why do I cry every day? Is it so hard? When you say it, I don't know what you mean. I cry most days lately because I miss my children. Because I have two beautiful babies. And I know they miss their dada, and their dada sure misses them. And I think it feels good to cry. It's therapeutic to cry. I just posted a video about how I think acknowledging the difficulties is important in the healing of them. And I believe that. I think a lot of times we're told to fake it till you make it, or happiness is a choice, or we're told all these things, and so we put on these smiles that go like this, and we don't really mean it. And yeah, maybe that does get your endorphins going in a way that sends you on a positive path. But I think you're not dealing with the stuff. And for most of my life, and I've talked about it a lot, I dealt with my stuff using alcohol and smoking marijuana every day. And that's not a good way to deal with your stuff. You're not really dealing with your stuff when you smoke pot or you drink alcohol. You're just burying it and you're covering up your feelings. And I think a lot of people do that in various ways. There's healthier ways. You can work out and you can keep busy and what have you, and that's healthier, of course. But I think really getting inside and probing around. I'm sorry. But anyway, I think it's best if you can really dig in and probe around and figure it out. And I think I am figuring it out. I haven't figured it out, but I'm figuring it out. But anyway, for those that have been watching a while, you know, it's not just a show about me talking. We can get back to all that. For those that have been watching a while, you know. Oh, do you know? It's also a show about me sharing my love of coffee. And, yeah, Jim Valvano did say that, and he was right. I do laugh, I do cry, and I do think every day. And Jim Valvano said that after he'd been diagnosed with terminal cancer at the ESPYs or something like that. And from that, the Jimmy V Awards grew, and they're raising millions of dollars or billions or a lot of money for cancer research. I'm new here. Do we talk about careers, and may I pick your brain? Well, we do talk about careers, but you can't pick my brain right now because I'm about to take my first sip of coffee. So with that in mind, I got a nice hot cup of coffee in front of me, and I am so excited to take my first sip at this, average, kind of late hour for me, honestly. But I hope wherever you are, whatever you're doing, that you have a hot cup of coffee in front of you as well. Cheers to us. Oh, it's nice. It is nice. It is nice. No, this is not a new mug. This is an old mug. This mug's 2.5 years old. 2.5 years ago, when I was deciding I wanted to do my show full time, I've been doing it for 5 years, but 2.5 years, or coming up on 3 years ago, I got separated from my wife, my second wife, and was growing weary of being in the real estate business, and was starting to recognize the impact me talking had. And I was getting messages of people that are working through sobriety or working through mental health issues or working through relationship issues or working through career issues or fatherhood issues or what have you, and needed somebody they thought was safe to go to. And I was getting so many messages, and I'm going, wow, this really seems to make a difference. This really seems to matter. I get a better feeling when I get a message from somebody saying, oh, thank you so much for doing this. I relate because this, and this, than I ever did at the closing table of a real estate transaction. And while, yes, at the closing table of the real estate transaction, we got paid and the paychecks were often large, that only was so important to me. And as I've said many times, money doesn't buy happiness. But being broke kind of sucks. And I think that's true. And kind of has me where I am today and facing what I'm facing today. I've been working at Yellowstone National Park as a server over the last 6 weeks or so. And I'm surprised because I work hard. I work fairly long hours. It's full time. And the first week it was much more than that. I was worried that my body wouldn't. I'm 55 years old. That my body couldn't handle the walking around and the activity and the tray carrying because I've got bad shoulders. Not that bad. Not that bad, apparently, because it can handle the trays. And my knee's been able to hold up and walk around this large restaurant and spend, 9-10 hours a day on my feet serving customers, serving tourists, serving the people that come through Yellowstone Park. But I'm pleased to report, I guess, that my body's handled it and the money's been really good. And I've been able to take care of some financial responsibilities that a twice divorced guy has, and stay on top of that and work down some other spots of debt, and that feels really good. But I'm coming at you from Bozeman, Montana, which is about 2.5 hours north of where I'm staying in Yellowstone, and I spent the last couple of days in a little hotel room with my own kitchenette, making my own coffee, have my own bathroom, and have really enjoyed being here and made me appreciate society in ways. I knew I was hurting and struggling and feeling lonely and missing my kids in Yellowstone, but I thought it was just kind of, stuff that was in my head. And yeah, it's all in our head. But now, after I've come to Bozeman, I realize how drastic the difference is between living in a national park and living in a town/city. Bozeman's a really neat town that has Montana State University in it. Its population's like 56,000 people, which I tell you, in Illinois standards, is a really tiny little, a small suburb. But here it's a big city in Montana, and as a big city, it's got a Target, it's got a Costco, it's got a downtown that's bustling, it's got cool bars and restaurants and golf courses, and did I say it's got Targets and Starbucks? I think I did. But I'll tell you what, I have missed those things living in Yellowstone. I've missed people. I see people, but a lot of them are international tourists just coming through, and hard to build relationships with people passing through for a few hours on their way to Old Faithful. And I work with a lot of nice people, a lot of employees that I like a lot. But it's a pool of probably 200 or 300 people that help run my area of the park. It might be more than that, but it's the same people every day and experiencing a lot of the same experiences, eating in the same cafeteria, a lot of the similar food every day, drinking the same coffee every day, and not being able to go, hey, I'll go to this coffee shop or I'll go to this coffee shop. And I know it's first world problems. But it was a big change. I left one of the best places to raise a family in Naperville to come and take this job. And it's been a big change for me. Not the work. Honestly, the work's been great. Yeah, there's stressful moments. Yeah, there's bad tables. Yeah, there's, dirty clothes and running around and sore back and sore shoulder and sore knee. But the work, honestly, has been great, and the pay's been great. But I am surprised to find out, to realize how hard the living has been. Just the day-to-day, the times when I'm not at work, the existence that is living in a national park without humans taking their kids to school or going to Boy Scout meetings or baseball games or going golfing or all the things that we so take for granted. Living in a national park's been hard for me and challenging for me. Again, the pay's good, the room and board is cheap, so it's working out. But it's been hard, and it's probably going to continue to be so hard. I actually inquired into a couple job opportunities up here and housing opportunities because it felt so good. It felt my high point of the last 2 months was rolling a red cart around Super Target and going, oh, I forgot I need soap. And wheeling my cart and going, oh, excuse me. And just having those regular experiences, those regular interactions that for me fill my soul, smiling at people or saying excuse me, or not that I don't smile and say excuse me where I work, but it's to the same small group of people I work with every day. And it's just fun being in a bigger place with golf courses and different choices. Living in a national park, your choices are, am I going to go on a hike today, or am I going to go fishing today, or am I going to go to the bar today? And that's not entirely true, but that's one man's perspective, and it's this man's perspective. So it's nice to be in Bozeman. It's really nice to be in Bozeman. I went to RV shopping yesterday. They only had 2 new RVs on the lot, a B class and a C class. And neither were quite right, and they were both new. And honestly, my budget's not right to make a move even if they were right. And they were both north of $100,000. And that's a lot. That's more money than I have or plan to have in the next couple months. And although it would provide transportation and a place to stay, which are both very valuable, they weren't right. And the time wasn't right. And I talked to, like I said, a couple places about work. And he goes, oh, you're perfect. I consider you hired if you can just find a place to live. And again, with real estate prices, and part of the reason I'm here at this national park is because it's a national thing going on. Home prices and rental prices keep going up. And because of that, living in the Chicago suburbs, I couldn't cover, in changing careers, I couldn't cover my financial responsibilities and keep a roof over my head. So coming out to Yellowstone and working in Yellowstone and staying in kind of communal housing for a very low cost was appealing to me. But again, financially rewarded, but spiritually challenging. And I believe things happen for a reason. And I think God put me in Yellowstone to teach me maybe to be more appreciative of the things that I take for granted, the choices of the coffee shops or the different places to eat or the smiling faces that you see walking down the street of my hometown, and you certainly see walking down Bozeman, Montana as well. And I think Bozeman is a really cool town for anybody that's wondering. It has all the conveniences of Naperville, which is one of the best places to raise a family. But it's got mountains, and it's got hiking, and it's got fishing, and it's got whitewater rafting, and all of that is in Yellowstone, but you don't need to live on the river that you whitewater raft, and you don't need to live on the hiking trails or the fishing river to appreciate them or to enjoy the beauty that is them. I would rather live in a more urban, more populated, more cosmopolitan area where I can drive 15 minutes and go whitewater rafting, right? I see the mountains, right? If I open the windows, I can see mountains. And I think Bozeman's really neat. And it's got the weather, and it's got the scenery, and it's got the people, and it's got the Starbuckses and the Targets and the cool downtown that I so value. Yeah, let's have a little more coffee. Now these aren't real big problems that I'm facing, but I mean, loneliness is kind of a mental health issue. So I think it's okay to talk about it and okay to experience. And again, I started this show 5 years ago when I was struggling through a bunch of things, and I realized talking about my stuff helped me work through it and help me process it and help me heal, and help me plan. You know, Yellowstone certainly isn't a long-term solution, and I certainly want to get back to seeing my kids every day. Um, but it's nice to have possibilities and options, and it was nice to be offered a job or two yesterday, contingent on me finding a place to live. I called and left a message on one place to live. I was riding my scooter out of downtown, headed towards a golf course that I wanted to check out. And I was thinking about it. A lot's changed in the economy since COVID, probably over the last 5 years. And I feel 5 years ago when I was walking around or driving around, you'd see for sale signs stuck to cars or in front of houses or for rent signs in front of buildings. And I'd realized basically haven't seen a for sale or a for rent sign on almost anything in a long, long, long time. And I was taking a left out onto this road and headed towards this golf course, or following my GPS and heading off on my scooter. And I'm cruising down the road in a kind of a neighborhoody feeling, kind of busier street. And there was this, I don't know if it was a small condo building or a duplex or whatever, but lo and behold, there was a for rent sign in front of it. And although I've done searching online, and I mean, I don't know how you move. Which came first, the chicken or the egg? Do you get the job or do you get the housing first? Can't get the job without a place to live, and can't get the house without a job, honestly. So I kind of felt that way yesterday. But I saw the for rent sign. I looked at the building. I go, hey, this might be okay. It's close to downtown. It's on the way to a golf course. It's on street with traffic in a neighborhood. And I really cherish neighborhoods and people and neighbors and humans and interactions. And so I did a little U-turn, made sure the traffic wasn't coming, rode by, and I don't think I had my helmet on. I took my helmet off and kind of wedged in the middle of a quiet side street and called and left a message. I haven't heard back. I don't know if people check their voicemails these days. I might follow up with a video text today, because the places I applied and in this town, I think you could make a really lot of money just waiting tables. And you'd work hard, and I know I would work hard, and I'd bring a positive attitude, and I wouldn't be the world's best waiter, because I'm not. But I'm pretty good at what I do, and I'm pretty hard working and determined, and would bring a good attitude every day. And I know they'd appreciate it there. And I would love that opportunity, God willing. So that's my thought right now. Oh, wow. People are asking questions. It would stop sliding. I'm 18. I got my real estate license. I started college a year early, so I'm headed to sophomore year. How do I get more clients in real estate? I've been in for 5 months, only closed once. Well, I'll tell you, first off, one close in 5 months is pretty typical, so I wouldn't fret too much. Real estate, you're going to go up. There's a ton of competition. There's very few homes selling right now. So I wouldn't fret too much about your performance right now. How do you get more clients? I don't know. I did fairly well, but it was still challenging. I didn't love real estate. I didn't love it. I'm glad I'm not in it. So I hate to be a Debbie Downer. For some people, it's awesome, and some people get angry when I say it. But I have a right to an opinion, too. It's my dang coffee show. I didn't like doing it, so I'm glad I'm not in it. Keep at it. Be determined. Knock on doors. Cold call. I'll tell you what I found about real estate. Nothing really worked very well. nothing worked very well. I was active in the community. Was active at social events. I door knocked. I cold called. I held open houses. I did floor time. I did everything I could, and nothing worked very well, but everything worked a little bit. And personally, I think there's way too many realtors out there, and the competition, because I didn't like it. My job, I felt, I tried. I wanted to do the best I could for the clients, give them the biggest positive experience, but I felt at the end of the day, my job was to talk you out of using your cousin or your neighbor or your wife's friend and use me for real estate services instead. And I didn't like that feeling at all. And I did fairly okay. There were certainly realtors that sold a lot more homes. I sent flyers. I sent mailers. I sent texts. I sent calls. I did what I thought I was supposed to do. My air conditioning went on, although I would appreciate the room cooling off a little bit. I didn't appreciate the noise, so I had to turn it off. Let's see. I'm sorry, I didn't see a bunch of morning from Lynn. I'm sorry, I wasn't. It wasn't scrolling. My questions weren't scrolling, and I have all these people. Hey, thank you, Lynn. She hopped on. Somebody started following me. Well, that was nice. Good Sunday morning, Lisa Olson. Hey, she's a realtor. She probably could answer your question better than I. Lisa, how does that guy get more clients? I don't know. I felt the whole job was involved trying to get more clients every day. And maybe that's just business. But 95% of your time is trying to get more clients, and 5% is working with those clients. And I didn't feel that was fulfilling at all. Did you lose your park job? No, I didn't lose my park job. I'm on vacation. I am on vacation. I got out of the park for 2 days. Park job's going well. Park job's going well, honestly. Yeah, I'm getting better at it. I'm learning how to do it. I'm making pretty good money. I think I'm real good there. I think I'm a valuable asset to them, and the money's good for me. So it's a kind of win-win. But I do miss humanity, and I do like Bozeman. And it would be neat working in a downtown area with, yeah. And I'm not, grass is always greener. Any hat stores in Bozeman? Maverick, there probably are hat stores in Bozeman. There probably are hat stores in Bozeman, but I did not buy one. I talked to a couple people that were wearing them and asked about them. I'm still not sure, and I'm still riding a scooter. Discipline and consistency. You will have ups and downs. It's not as easy a job, but I love it. See, that's true. Listen to the list. I was disciplined and I was consistent, and it did have ups and downs, and I didn't love it. But I appreciate your thoughts. No, you should change your name. I don't want to say your name. Sarcasta, because I don't like swearing. And I mean, don't change your name. Do you? No, my job's going great. The job in Yellowstone is great. But it's hard for me, and I miss society. I remember a week ago I wanted to go RV shopping, and it's a 2-hour drive to the closest RV shop. And it was an hour and a half drive to the closest movie theater, and about an hour drive to the closest Starbucks. And I don't even go to McDonald's, but something about seeing the Golden Arches makes me feel like home. Knowing I could get one of those big, large Cokes from McDonald's. Love those. So anyway, Will Bill asked if I went RV shopping. I talked about that a little bit ago. I went to Bish's RV store. I would have done a video, but the salesman was right there, and I felt a little uncomfortable asking. And honestly, the inventory they had wasn't very good. They had 2 RVs that might have fit the bill, but they were new, and I can't afford new right now at all. I can't even afford used, but I'm still planning and shouting out to the universe that I'll tell you what, if I had an RV, I'd be living in Bozeman waiting at one of these restaurants that wanted to hire me yesterday. And Yeah, I'd really like that, I think. And maybe come winter, I'd head back to Chicago, or maybe I'd pack up and head back to Chicago right away. But I think it'd be neat to experience Bozeman for a while. I think it's a really neat town. Again, it's got all the amenities. It's got schools and humans and kids and houses. It's funny I say that, but I promise you guys live, most of you probably live in neighborhoods or towns. When you live in a national park, it's not that way. It's not that way. And I'll talk to some coworkers and they go hiking every day. Maybe I just don't like hiking. Maybe I just don't like hiking. I don't think there's any shame in that. I don't know. I like seeing cool things, but I've seen Old Faithful. I've seen the geysers. I've seen the steam. I've smelt the sulfur. I've seen bears. I've seen buffalo, and I've seen moose. I don't know. Sounds like Craigslist may have an RV for you. It may be. You should come to Germany. Everything close in the cities. And Germany's probably beautiful. Germany's probably beautiful. Some of the prettiest pictures I see. I like the United States. I'm not saying I wouldn't like Germany. But I like the people, and I'm not saying I wouldn't like Germans. I don't know them that well. Good morning, Kelly. Maybe I'd like Germany, but it'd be really far from my kids. I'll tell you what, I feel closer to my children living in Bozeman, Montana, or staying in Bozeman, Montana, than I do in Yellowstone. Robert Taylor is asking, is my Yellowstone job possibly year-round? Yeah, it probably is, but honestly, I would have a hard time staying there year-round. I have been there 6 weeks, and it's hard for me. I like cities. I grew up just outside of Chicago and spent 10 years living in downtown Chicago with 5 million other people. Now to get back to your kids that make you smile. Yeah, no, you're right about that. Where am I now? I'm in Bozeman, Montana. I'm in a little hotel room, probably the cheapest hotel room in Bozeman, Montana, for a while. I'll tell you what, I talked to one of the guys that was offering me a job contingent on housing. I'm going, well, I spent $145 for this hotel room last night. How much are you talking? How much would I be making at this job? And I was wondering, could I live in a hotel? And no, I can't live at $145 a night in a hotel. That's not even a real nice hotel. But the coffee is appreciated. My tummy's rumbling. You guys are going to be ashamed of me. I didn't really have much dinner. I really didn't have lunch. I was at one of the restaurants I was applying at yesterday. And I was kind of hungry. I was sitting up at the bar, and there was a nice-looking young lady, this bartender, around lunchtime. And she was real friendly, and I asked her about working here, and she said the money's real good. Most of the people that work there are younger, and I think that was one of the appeals to me, that I could, I don't know, provide a little age. Maybe check a box. Hey, we hired an old guy. We don't discriminate against old guys. Look at him. He's old. No. But I was enjoying sitting at the bar and saying hey to some people on my left and right, and ordered a really nice combination. They had French fries and onion rings in one order, and I thought it was really nice, and they were tasty. No, I didn't leave Yellowstone. I left Yellowstone 2 days ago, but it's only a vacation. I'm taking a vacation from Yellowstone. I'm going back this morning. I got a job to do. I'm going to be working at 4:15 today. I know, Will Bill. I'm just joking. I only joke about being old because I think I'm doing okay. I'm getting better. I'm looking pretty good. I'm feeling pretty good. And I think I'm getting better with age, honestly. I'm as strong as I was in my 20s. I'm in good shape. I woke up and sat up out of bed and saw myself in the mirror, and I go, hey, you look pretty good. You're in pretty darn good shape. Here's to me. But what was I saying? I don't know. But I do like Bozeman, Montana. And I did enjoy getting inside an RV yesterday. but they weren't right. And I do think buying a used RV would give me some flexibility and would give me options in this strange world of spiraling upward real estate prices. And not having a job, but not being able to afford a home. I mentioned I went into a Target yesterday. They said now hiring starting employees at $21 an hour. I don't know what the minimum wage is in Montana, but most of you guys might know that I worked at Target last year and I was paid like $15 an hour. Or $15.50, I think they might start you at. And I was working full time and paying my financial responsibilities. But I couldn't afford a housing working full time at Target. And I was going, hey, $21 an hour is more. But again, that wouldn't solve my stuff. I need a job, probably waiting tables at a nice restaurant. And, like I am right now. And I have that job. Yeah, so. Hello, RJ. I don't know how long I want to talk for you today. It's 7:20. I think I'm going to pack up my hotel room when I'm done with this show. I'm going to go to Starbucks and cherish a couple hours in Starbucks getting coffee, dark roast coffee with cream. Oh, yeah. I'm salivating. Does my park job provide health insurance? It does. It does. But what was I saying? Oh, I'm going to cherish a couple more hours in civilization. I'm going to hop back on my scooter. Going to do a 2.5 to 3 hour ride down to Yellowstone National Park. Going to shower. If I have time, I might lift weights. If I don't, I won't worry about it because I'll be pretty tired from a 3 hour ride on the scooter. I'm going to go into work. I'm going to have a great attitude. I'm going to work hard. I'm going to be as friendly as possible and as efficient as possible and be the best damn waiter I can be at the dining room in Yellowstone National Park. And I'm probably going to make a decent amount of money. Thank you. I'm going to probably make a decent amount of money, and then I'm going to go back to my dorm room. And Maverick, I won't go back through that. Maverick watches, apparently, and he said, don't go back through that west entrance or the busy entrance. Yeah, I came out the west entrance the other day, and there was a line of cars and traffic backed up for miles. I might miss my shift. They might let me go because I missed my shift. Then God would be pushing me elsewhere and I'd have to make another decision. I'd probably get back on my scooter, ride back north to Bozeman, talk to the guy that offered me the job yesterday and say, hey, I have housing. Can I work tonight? Maybe I'll sleep in the kitchen while they're preparing my housing for me and gather enough tips up and put down a month's deposit or security deposit. I actually looked at like sharing rooms. I got on Craigslist and you can share rooms with people. I don't know. Not share rooms, but share 3-bedroom townhomes or 3-bedroom homes. How many cc's is my bike? Almost Maverick. It's 400 cc's. It's a Suzuki Bergman 400. And it's highway legal and can probably go 85, maybe 90 miles an hour. But I feel uncomfortable going that fast and feel better at 45 to 55 miles an hour. And usually keep the speedometer at about that level as I go along. But in Montana, they drive fast. I mean, they drive fast pretty much everywhere, but in Montana, it seems a little bit like the Wild, Wild West. And you got an 18-wheeler coming at you at 85, 90 miles an hour behind you, and you're going 50, going, it's a scary feeling. Is there another way into the park? Yes, there is, and I'm going to go the other way. It's actually the closer way. I took I'd say probably, I mean, they're both scenic ways, but the more scenic way the other day, in a way I hadn't gone, I went from Mammoth Hot Springs down to West Yellowstone up to Big Sky, Montana, which is a ski resort And it kind of confused me there because it almost felt like this huge outdoor mall with restaurants and bars and shops, but there wasn't really much civilization there. I see people renting homes in Naperville. Interesting, Kimmy Cat. Yeah, renting rooms in Naperville. Yeah, renting rooms is kind of odd feeling. I'm not saying I'm above doing what I got to do. I know I got to do what I got to do, but renting a room in a house is kind of funny feeling because you're sharing a kitchen with a stranger, and you're 55 years old, going to be 56 in a month. I'm going to be 56 in a month. Kimmy Cat says it's a short-term solution. Yeah, I looked into that. And now that I'm realized I can still wait tables, I honestly didn't think I could wait tables at 55. I have a bad knee and aches and pains, but I feel pretty good and feel pretty strong. And despite my bad knee and my ache and my pain in it, it tends to loosen up and I do okay. And because of that, I realized I can wait tables, whether it's in Yellowstone or Naperville or Bozeman. And because of that, it seems like a perfect job for me to do while I develop Coffee with Ken. And it's a job I'm pretty good at, and it's a job I can do anywhere, and it's a job where they're always hiring and there's a lot of turnover. And I was offered a job yesterday contingent on me finding housing. And I'll kid you not, the guy said waiters make $300 to $500 a night. Seems like a lot of money to wait tables. I don't know. Yeah. You're sharing a room and bath now. Well, that is true. But I don't love it. And again, sarcastic. I don't love it. I want my own bathroom. I go down. I got to wake up and pee. I got to put my PJs on, walk across the floor. First of all, get committed to going to the bathroom. You wake up at 3 a.m, you're always hoping it'll go away, and it doesn't go away. You just lay there until you go, well, I better go. So I flip my feet over, pull up my PJs on, my T-shirt on, walk across the room, worry I'm waking up my roommates, walk down the hall, walk down the stairs, go into this communal bathroom, go to the bathroom, and then go back up. Let me tell you, that's not that great. Agree I couldn't do it. I'm thankful for my townhome. It's small, but it's my own. You want a roommate, Kimmy Cat? Do I have my own bathroom? Why don't you, honestly, because I'm out here, I want to finish my time out here. And I have till October. My contract runs through October. And I'm going to keep working hard at Yellowstone and have the best attitude that I can. But I'll tell you what, it really opened my eyes to the pleasantries that are civic, living in a place that has a Starbucks or has a Target, or what have you, or has restaurants or people in it. And made me miss home, made me miss Starbucks, made me miss Targets, made me miss my kids. And, made me want to work hard, and made me pray, and made me think maybe the time isn't right, or if it is, God will set me up and things will work out okay. Made me feel I did as much as I could yesterday. I applied at a couple places. I looked at different housing solutions. And I got some rest last night. And I enjoyed my 2 days in Bozeman. And honestly going to be a little sad to leave. But I have new adventures lay ahead. And if I'm meant to be working in Bozeman, housing will open up for me. And Doesn't mean you don't have to apply yourself, because I'm going to follow up with that guy that I called, and I'm going to keep my eyes on housing opportunities in Bozeman. But honestly, to rent a 1-bedroom is roughly $2,000 here in Bozeman. With my financial responsibilities, would be tough. Henry's saying, have faith in God's plan. Why am I leaving Bozeman? Because I have a job and a home in Yellowstone National Park. I appreciate you getting on, Corey. I do appreciate you getting on. I just came up here for 2 days to get out of the park and to go to Starbucks and to look at RVs and to just experience a town living again. And it felt really good. It felt really good. And I'll tell you what, for a guy that is frugal as heck, spending $150 a night on a hotel, I don't make those decisions without some thought. But just sleeping in a room with a TV in my own bedroom seemed really appealing. And felt really good. But yeah, I'm going to wrap up my show now. Do I have one more sip of coffee? I do. I'm going to pack up my room. I'm going to head to Starbucks. I'm going to spend a couple hours in Starbucks. I'm going to ride through downtown, teary-eyed, waving at the restaurants that I could be working at. But then I'm going to put a smile on my face and kick back and enjoy the ride as best as I can down to Yellowstone. And I'm going to enjoy the scenery and smell the roses, the proverbial roses. And when I get back again to Yellowstone, I'm going to say hi to my roommates. I'm going to take a hot shower. I'm going to get ready for work. I'm going to go in with the best attitude possible. I'm going to work hard. I'm going to be the best employee I can. Going to have a good attitude. I'm going to be grateful. I'm going to count my blessings. And I'm going to be the friendliest damn worker they have at the dining room in Yellowstone National Park. And that's my plan. I'm going to keep my eyes open for opportunities, because I think it's always a good idea to keep your eyes open. And there are opportunities out there. And I'm going to keep moving forward. I'm going to keep covering my financial responsibilities. I'm going to keep a roof over my head. I'm going to keep working hard. I'm going to keep doing Coffee with Ken every day, because it makes me feel good. And I think that is God's plan for me. And the fact that it was difficult to find housing yesterday, I felt it was God telling me to keep working on my videos and keep going live and keep posting videos and keep doing what I'm doing. Good morning from Waco. But I appreciate you hopping on with me on this Sunday morning. Want to thank you for joining. Hope your weekend is going well. Hope you are feeling good. Hope you had a great night's sleep. Hope you're living in the moment. Hope you're loving yourself. Hope you're forgiving yourself. And as always, I hope to talk to you soon. Bye-bye.